The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the entire body. It carries signals to and from the brain and the digestive system and organs. So this is a very important nerve that plays many roles. And so it starts in the brainstem just behind the ears, and it travels down each side of the neck, across the chest, and down through the abdomen where it connects to a lot of your organs. And so by stimulating the vagus nerve, you're actually able to send a message to your body and your brain that it's time to chill out and relax. And this leads to long-term improvements in mood, well-being. Stress resilience is one that we talk a lot about because sources of stress are not really disappearing or diminishing in many of our lives. They're getting bigger. So ultimately the question is, what are you going to do to make yourself more stress resilient? And stimulating and toning the vagus nerve is a way to do this and really build your stress resilience. And so as you tonify and strengthen your vagus nerve and you get what's called stronger vagus activity, this leads to the ability to rebound more quickly after stress. And there are lots of ways that you can do this. You can get into the cold is one of my favorites. Now you guys hear me probably talk in the past a lot about my experience with the Wim Hof method, which I'm a huge proponent of. And the key thing is a lot of people see people like myself or others just getting into ice water and think that you got to go out in the middle of winter and do something really wild like that. But that's not where you start. You start just doing 30 seconds of cold water at the end of a shower. And you build up slowly, like any muscle that you're trying to strengthening the vagus nerve. You don't go overboard and go crazy all at once. You build up slowly over time at a sustainable pace. So cold exposure is a fantastic way to do it. Singing and chanting are very effective. That's why in coming from different places of the world, for example, in India, I grew up in the city yoga tradition where chanting Sanskrit mantras was a huge part of my upbringing. And that's a very powerful technique. Slow, deep breathing, any kind of a pranayama type breathing is generally having the effect of strengthening and toning the vagus nerve. And then, you would look at also, we talked about the Wim Hof method. That's the other part of that is the breathing practice involved in the Wim Hof method that strengthens and activates and tones the vagus nerve and strengthens the nervous system in doing so. Yoga generally is really good for the vagus nerve. Meditation, positive thinking in general, social connection, hard to come by these days, but you get what you can. And sometimes you're not able to do everything on this list. Laughter, prayer, PEMF is another really good one. Pulsed electromagnetic fields. This is a form of EMF that goes on and off in pulses in a way that's actually very beneficial for the mitochondria, for accelerated healing, for a whole variety of things. Probiotics in the way that they activate the gut microbiome, or enhance, I should say, the gut microbiome, are really good. And going down that same train, you can also I haven't seen research on this, but in theory, you could look at something like phage therapy, PHAGE, as being something that would be very good in that department for microbiome enhancement as well. Exercise is shown to be really good, so that's an easy one that anybody can do. You could look at things also like massage is really good, fasting, supplementation with EPA and DHA, so that would be coming in the form of krill oil, algae oil, or fish oil, depending on what you're into. Zinc supplementation is good, acupuncture is good, and of course, adaptogens. This is a part of how they work as well. So taking adaptogens is really good for strengthening and toning the vagus nerve. So there's a lot that you can do here. So just try to regularly do a bunch of different things on that list. You don't need to check every single one of those boxes every single day, but having a few regular activities and then sprinkling in a few from time to time that are going to have a positive effect on your vagus nerve health and building your stress resilience is, I think, a really good part of your health strategy.